today. We are live on Facebook, and I'm going to say hi to everybody out there. We're just going to have a fun show today because it is my 60th birthday today, and as well as it is KFNX's 20-year anniversary today. We are having a huge party down here at the station. I'd like to invite all of you out there, but I know that Francis will freak if I do that. But, you know, I just wanted to have fun today, and I have with me some of my guests that have been on with me for a very long time. I have with me Doc from Hypnotic One. He has been on my show for over 7 years. Doc and I were going to talk a little bit about, obviously, you being the executive producer of my television show. You are a sponsor here. As a matter of fact, you're my lead sponsor here on the radio show. I also have with me Michael Van Vleck, and he's the owner of Denali, Arizona. And Denali, Arizona is also a sponsor on my radio show, too. He may not remember that I told him about that, but he is. And Mike and I have so much fun. Every time Mike is on this show, I think I end up peeing in my pants at least once or twice. We would have had Ted here, but Ted's dad passed just this last weekend, so he wasn't able to make it today, but I know he's here in spirit. And we also have somebody that's calling in, actually not calling in, but he was here a while back, and he's been on my show many, many times, and you'll hear from him. That's Craig Stelflug, and he is going to be talking a little bit about the television show and my birthday and all that kind of stuff. So I want to welcome you guys to the show and say thank you for being here.
Oh, it's our pleasure. My gosh, we always have a good time when we come on your show. But how does it feel to be turning 60?
Oh my God,
gosh.
It sounds fantastic. I told you earlier, I told my ex-husband I don't feel old until I try and stand up. That's really the truth.
Oh, the solution to that is don't stand up.
There goes Mike laughing. So first of all, you know, obviously you want to talk a little bit about yourself a little bit, just so that there are always new listeners that are listening in. So go ahead and talk about you for a second, and I'm going to go ahead and let you talk too.
Well, you're talking to me, so that must be Doc from Hypnotic One. Yes, I'm the certified clinical hypnotherapist in the Valley, and we have a 98% success rate, and we help people get off drugs, alcohol, smoking, sugar. Sugar's the biggest one. We help them sleep. We help professional athletes become a better athlete and put them in the zone. And we just help people to communicate much better.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we've been helping people for over 30 years.
Absolutely. Now also, Mike Denali, Arizona, please tell everybody a little bit about you. I know you've been gone. You have been out of the state in Alaska. You lucky guy.
I have, and I made my way back. I didn't die. I wasn't killed.
But you said you saw a bear pretty close to you.
Yeah, we saw about 20 bears total, with one being about 10 feet away.
Wow.
A couple more that were 15 or so.
Wow.
Really big brown bears, so huge.
But it was really neat, huh?
But I made it back.
Tell everybody about what you do, too.
Yeah, sure. First of all, one thing I do want to say is, you know, for me, my time, it's very busy. So I have limited time, and I have to allocate it appropriately.
Thank you for being here.
So, oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for having me. But the point of me saying that is to be able to do here at the show what I'm able to do with the amount of time that I'm able to invest in it is really a testament to you. I wouldn't be able to do it without you, and I mean that in all sincerity. To be able to, you know, bring, you know, my company here and talk about what we do, to do all the things behind the scenes that you do, really makes it possible. So
thank you.
And I know that goes unsaid. We don't talk about that a lot. It doesn't get talked about on the radio, but there's a lot of that goes behind that I'm personally grateful for. So, you know, in the spirit of celebrating you and your birthday, I do want to say thank you for all that work that you put in. It is amazing. And so really for anybody who, you know, has a business that is trying to elevate it, to give it better transparency in the marketplace, or put it out there from a marketing perspective, there's nothing better. Because I remember the first time I came on the show, the way that you make it so easy, and you're so professional at how you do it, and to be able to get people to talk about it, it really is amazing. So, you know, those out there that have a business that are looking to do these kinds of things, I mean, you're the person that they need to contact. So I just want to say thank you.
Oh, thank you, Mike. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. But Denali Real Estate, we're a Arizona real estate brokerage. We specialize in helping people, investors, buy and sell homes, but we also manage properties as well on behalf of others. We tend to specialize in folks that are in trouble. They've made mistakes. They don't know what to do, and we're here to help them out of it.
Yeah, and I love that about when you come on, because it's all about educating everybody, basically, and that's what's kind of neat about what you do, too. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things that are going on that's pretty big right now.
And Mike, you were saying how she makes it so easy on radio. You ought to see it on television now. I tell you what, we've all educated ourselves, and we've had a great bunch of people helping us because TV is a lot more intense, isn't it, Carol?
Oh my gosh, it's so different. When they said TV's different than radio, I was like, oh, come on. How much different could it possibly be?
But it's really helping
different.
People out there see who they're dealing with before they deal with them. Otherwise, they start to have face recognition. It's just not radio or print or your emails. It's actually seeing how a person responds in that situation on the camera. And it really does help people get their thing out. Because I've done television before, and it really did help all my businesses become more well-known.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's what I decided to do. Well, my 60th birthday present to me and to everybody else out there is this television show. I remember when I came here and was doing this the radio show. This was now almost 11 years ago. August will be 11 years. And I was out. I had a networking group. And I had about 100 members to this group. They used to come to my house. I swear to God.
Wow.
It was called In-Home Networking. And I did. And I used to have people come to my house twice a week. We'd have these luncheons, and I'd make the food. It was, Francis actually used to come, the owner of the station used to come to those networking events.
Right?
Yeah. And I was out growing the group one day, and I didn't even know Francis. I didn't realize that he was there, or didn't even realize who he was. And he had been in my home. And anyway, I was outgrowing the group, and I stand next to him, and I said, well, you look very familiar. And he goes, well, I'm Francis Battaglia, and I'm president of KFNX. And I went, well, my dad's Neil Diamond, so there. And I can say that because that's my dad's name. His dad's name, my maiden name is Diamond. So here we were talking, and he was following me around, and he's like, does he really think my dad's Neil Diamond? Because I wouldn't be here right now, right? Anyway, he goes, come on down to the station, and I came on down here, and I had no idea that anyone can talk, have their own radio show. He goes, yeah, a lot of people like to talk. And he's really right, because people do like to talk.
Sure do.
There's a ton of shows out there.
And even some of them that are a little shy that come on your show, you get them out of that shyness real quick, and it's just really fun down here. You forget about the radio, and then on the television, you forget about the cameras, and you just start getting excited about talking about your product or your service or what you can do and how you can help people. And I think that's what really comes across is why they keep calling in and wanting our services.
Something what I think I like the best when somebody is really nervous when they're about coming on. And the reason why I say that is because I can see as they're doing their segment that they're starting, it usually takes a few minutes, and then they start getting into it. And then there's the break and they go, that went so fast. And it does go by fast. As a matter of fact, our first little segment here is over. We're going to go to a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk further. That's how fast it goes. And we've been just sitting here having fun, and it goes by so fast. So when we come back, we're going to talk further about this. We're just having fun today on Networking Arizona here, and we're going to go to a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk further. You can check us out. Go on live on Facebook right now. You can see us all here.
Happy birthday, Carol.
Thank you. Go to Networking Arizona Radio Show. So welcome back, everyone, and we are saying hi to everybody out there that's watching on Facebook land right now, and we are live out there, so you guys that want to check us out and see what we're doing in here, we're just having fun. There's tons of flowers, there's balloons, and we're having also, it's to KFNX's 20-year anniversary, so happy anniversary to KFNX. And I was telling the story about Francis and how I met him, but that's how this thing all started. Was I was just outgrowing the group, and I meet this guy, and I say, wow, I had no idea, and here I am almost 11 years later having my own radio show. And, I have to say the same thing, Mike. You said something about me, and I really appreciate what you said, but the same thing goes here for everybody here that works KFNX. Really seriously, without Francis, the president of the station, we wouldn't even be here. And also the way that they make it so easy to have your own show here. My board operators who have been so phenomenal, and all of the production people that help people do your ads and all that kind of stuff. It's really just been a joy working with everybody. Okay, so I want to go ahead and talk again too. I know, Mike, you've been talking a little bit about your trip to Doc about the salmon. I want to talk a little bit about that. I want to hear about your trip. Let's just talk about that for a second too.
Well, we went to Alaska, and the reason that we went is I have a 12-year-old daughter, and we've been doing different national parks, and the deal I made with her 3 years ago is, so when we go to these parks, she has to be a junior ranger. She has to go through this program, and they have to do its booklet and get sworn in, and they get a little badge. So I told her if she gets 49 of these badges, I'll go to Alaska for number 50 at Denali National Park in Alaska. So that's
neat.
Why we went.
Isn't that neat? That is awesome. So she said, I'm going to show you, Dad.
Yeah, she did. At this point, she was like at 15 or 20 or whatever. So I'm like, 50 will never happen.
But whatever, we're going to go.
Well, she got to 49, so...
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, she rocked it.
Wow, I love that story. And so it was wonderful, and you got to see lots of beautiful wildlife?
Yeah, so we saw all kinds of things. I think the one thing that threw me off the most was the daylight. It literally never got dark. It got dusk for about 3 hours, but otherwise, sun is up, and you're rocking and rolling.
Really? I don't even know that I
need
knew.
to work up there one day at a time. My gosh, your day would go on forever.
It does.
Yeah, wouldn't that be neat? Have it on your birthday, then it'll be going on forever all that day.
So
right?
I didn't sleep much, but because of that, it's like go, go, go. But otherwise, I think it's fantastic. Everybody should do it at least once.
Well, you guys have been on my show so much. In the last few years, I know, and I have just appreciated all of my guests, all of people, whether you come on one time or whether you come on for years. I really appreciate everybody. And what Doc's about ready to say something.
I think we appreciate you too, because we fight that traffic coming down here.
Everybody says that.
Yeah, sure.
But isn't it worth the drive? You know what? There's commercials out there, but it's worth the drive, right?
And it really is, because you rent the time, or you get the time, then you give it to us, and it's so. I wouldn't want to do your job.
It's turnkey.
And you make everybody seem so at ease when you're doing it. And now we're finding that you do the same thing on the television. It's. I can't wait for the shows.
I can't wait. We should talk about it.
It's the 28th, I think it is coming out on Channel 7. It's a phenomenal show. It's going to
be so much fun, and people can be a part of it in many different ways. So I will talk about it a little bit. It is on Channel 7 on Saturdays from 11 to noon, and it's a great station because it's a very Arizona channel. It's AZTV Channel 7, so it's all local businesses that they like to promote too, and that's why it's such a natural for this show to kind of be from radio here and now being on Channel 7. And the cool thing about it is that first of all, like the radio, I made it incredibly affordable for anybody to do it, and that I think that's what I wanted when I first started this show. I said I want everybody to get the chance to do it, and that's what I want for the radio too. For the television too, is that I want everyone to get a chance to be able to come on and do something like this.
And that's the way it is, because especially since it's a local channel, you're not advertising into New York or into Chicago, where you're not going to get a customer anyway.
Right.
So you're advertising locally, so it is affordable, and you have really made it affordable. And like I said, you made the set, you had everything done.
That's so much fun. And Doc,
it is.
You are a big reason for that. You are my executive producer, and this has been going on for about a year now that we've been trying to work on this thing.
We've had some ups and downs and hills and valleys.
It's been a labor of love. You know what? People can go up on Facebook. They can see my Facebook page. They'll see all sorts of pictures, because what we're doing is we're taking radio and we're blending radio, television, and social media. So what's really cool is I also have a gal that's helping me with JUCO marketing, who's doing all the social media, because I don't know how to do any of that. And Danielle is just helping so much. And what's really fun is when we're taping, she comes up to everybody, she goes, do you mind if I take some pictures of you? And she says, and I'll share them on social media, and everybody says, absolutely, we'd love to have you do it. And then she starts just sharing it all day long. It just keeps on going and going and going.
She loves what she does. I really saw that. I hired her to do my social media because I don't want to do that. This is fun for me. The television's fun. Social media, sitting there working on a computer, that's not fun for me, but she just loves it. She does a good job at it, and I highly recommend her.
Yeah, she was really cool to be having fun like that. So I was telling Doc, before we go to another break here, I was telling Doc about the one time when you came on. Like I said, with Michael Van Vleck, every time he comes on our show, we just have a great time because, we connect with one another.
Agreed.
It's just one of those things. But also, funny things seem to happen, right? Almost every single time. And so I was telling Doc about that one time that you came on, and there was a little gnat in the studio, and it's flying around, and we were on Facebook Live. We had the video going, and I'm sitting here, and it was just you and me. There was nobody else in the room that day. And I'm trying to be really, keep it together. And I know that you weren't either doing too well with it, but we were both sitting there doing our best. And all of a sudden, the thing, it either flew in your mouth or very close. I think it flew in your mouth. And the next thing I know, I lose it completely. And I love playing that. We re-air it all the time sometimes because we just love it. It's hysterical.
It was funny.
It was the funniest moment. One of the funnier moments that have happened on my show.
Well, Mike, are you going to come on the television and do something like that too?
One of the best things about it is, Carol being such a professional calls and says, I'm really sorry that I laughed. And
I know. That was afterwards.
It was very gracious of you to do so.
I say, you know what, Mike, I couldn't believe that I laughed like that. And I couldn't stop laughing. Literally, I think I did pee in my pants.
And then I said, you know what, that was probably the funnest show we've ever had. Just in general, I don't know. I thought it was good that it went the way that it did, and it
really was.
It was.
That's one nice thing about this show, and the TV's the same way. It's fun. I always say if it's not fun, don't do it.
Right.
And work. You have to make your work fun.
You know what's funny?
And make this fun.
Thank you. We were doing the television the other day, and not this last time, Monday, not yesterday, but a few weeks ago we were doing it, and something flew on my face, and I'm sitting there, and we're taping them as if they're live, right?
Right.
And let me tell you, if you're running late, and if Joe is listening, I have no idea. Joe, he's the owner of Skyline Productions. You don't want to run late in television. You just don't, okay? And let me tell you, on that day, he let me know that you're not to run late on television. And I had probably one of the hardest but best learning days of my life, okay? But, and I'm sitting there, and there's like this little something on my face. I was thinking about you, Mike, the whole time, and I let it be. I got through the segment, but then I thought to myself, well, geez, didn't my producers see that? But they didn't see it. I guess because if they would have saw it, they would have stopped. But
sure,
yeah. So it's kind of funny. We're having those kind of little things like that happen on the television set,
and they do,
too.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
I think that's the importance of, and not to come in with a certain expectation. The reality is that we're on the radio to talk about certain things, but if it's that serious, if you're that serious about it, then
I think people always say this. Everybody wants something out of it, and I want everybody to get something out of it. Absolutely. But I tell everyone, you're not going to get 89,000 calls. It just doesn't work like that. It's one of those things that, it does take a little time. It just does. And I even tell people, you can buy a billboard and get nothing. And It's absolutely true. But what you get out of this show and now the television show, what you get for very little money, the video going live on Facebook, and you get to put all that on your website and all of that. Coming down here, having a blast, really. And, whatever you get out of it is the icing on the cake. And the funny thing is so many people will say to me, I can't wait to come back. And they all say the same thing. I like the second one better because I knew what to expect, right?
Yep.
You're right.
It is true. And then, it's funny how some of the people that'll come on and look at, like, Doc has been on for over 7 years. I think I've had you on for at least 3 years now.
Yeah,
at least. We're going to go to a break. We're going to listen to Craig Stelflug. He's going to be talking about his book. We're also going to be, talking a little bit about my party today. And again, it's also KFNX's 20-year anniversary. So congratulations to them too. Check us out all on Facebook Live right now. Go to Networking Arizona on Networking Arizona radio show and check us out right there.